what is your method of overcoming like test anxiety? Because I tend to get like really anxious, like, right before the exam, like have trouble falling asleep and, can't really concentrate on the questions. So like, what is your approach if you feel like really anxious on something?
Yeah, there are a number of things you could think about, but one thing I want to call out is you said this was your last opportunity.
Yes.
Why do you say it's your last opportunity?
It's because I really want to apply this year, and after the August LSAT, I want to start working on my personal like statement and all that stuff. I am a person that I can't really work on two things at the same time. So I really don't have the confidence that I will have time to keep focusing on the LSAT while, writing all my essays. So I would say this is my last LSAT.
How many hours do you plan to spend on your essays?
Ideally, like, I don't know, like, because, this is obviously my first time applying to law school. So I was thinking like maybe 8 hours a day on writing. I don't know if that's realistic.
How many hours did you spend on your undergraduate admissions essays?
I spent not a lot of time. I would say like maybe like 3 hours a day.
Was it enough?
It in the hindsight, my parents were helping me on like, preparing for all the materials, but now like I only get myself, like, I have to like pick the schools, like learn everything, right? Why certain law school essay, diversity statement, all that stuff. So to me, it feels really overwhelming because it sounds like I have a lot of things to do. That's why like I just feel that like I'm not going to have any time studying for the LSAT.
Is it possible for you to get support with your essays for law admissions?
You mean a consulting firm? Or what do you mean?
It could be support from anywhere. It could be a consulting firm. It could be other applicants.
Well, the way they can help me is only to like give me feedback. It's really not like they can't really help me write anything. So I don't know how are they going to save my time in this sense.
I hear what you're saying. Now, it's possible that support from others and feedback from others could help you reach a final draft faster.
Definitely. But also, like, how do you know, like, what is your final draft? Because, I always want to do things, perfectly. So I don't know, like, maybe I'll drive myself crazy while writing the essays, just like how, like, when I'm studying for my LSAT, like, I want to do everything I can to reach a certain level. So I really can't guarantee, like, if that will help me reach my draft, like final draft quicker.
Well, first off, writing's never done. It's never perfect. Never perfect.
That's true.
You simply decide that your draft is good enough and it achieves the purpose that you have for it. Feedback from others could save you some time by helping you get to a good result faster. So I wouldn't write it off. Someone else doesn't have to write the essay for you in order for them to be helping you to some extent. And then I would also want you to think about how important is the essays relative to the LSAT in the admission process overall?
Yeah, but I don't know because my GPA is like 3.53. So, supposedly I'm a splitter. I don't know, like, if how useful my personal application would be, like, combined with my GPA and my LSAT. Obviously, I'm going to talk to, like, admission officers or consulting companies to sort it out. But still, I just feel that I am not competitive enough in the applicant pool, especially when there are more 170 plus scores this year and more people are applying. So, like, what is your take on my situation?
Well, the fact that things may be more competitive or not is beside the point. I'm not sure that relates to your decision about whether the upcoming LSAT is your final chance to take it versus how you spend time on your application essays. I see them being unrelated. Regardless of whether the cycle is more competitive or less competitive, your GPA is fixed. You can devote time to the upcoming LSAT and decide that upcoming LSAT is it, and then spend X hours a day on your application essays. Or you could say, maybe I will be open to the possibility of retaking the LSAT in October or in November. And then if that were the case, you might spend less time on the application essays, but it would be worth it. There are plenty of people who work on essays and their LSAT simultaneously. The essays could be a welcome break from some LSAT prep. And it could be that you can't spend 8 hours a day for 4 to 6 or 8 weeks doing nothing but essays. Good writing requires time where you put it away, don't touch it for a few days, come back with a fresh perspective. Or, as I said, have somebody else look at it and give you feedback, because you can't see your own blind spots. And with writing as personal as this, it can help to have outside perspectives. So I would just challenge the idea that in order to do a good job on your essays, you need to do nothing else but essays. And if you could get a few more points on the LSAT by retaking, that may have a bigger impact than a little bit more time revising and editing.
I see. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the advice.
Of course. And so I'm just challenging some assumptions there. Take some time and mull it over. I'm not saying you necessarily have to retake it, but the idea of being open to a retake could also help to reduce some of the stress associated with this particular upcoming LSAT, because while the LSAT as a whole is incredibly important, no one particular test date will make or break you, and you could always retake.
Yeah, it's a good argument. I'm definitely going to think about it.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.